everyone, Daniel, Rory and Rich here from IGN. What you just saw was what happened when we faced the zombie apocalypse in London. It's a new immersive theatre experience called Generation of Z, the Apocalypse. And Rory.
Yes.
Rich.
Yes.
We're going to go through whether it's scary, what you need to do to survive, and what we thought of it. So, Rory, is it scary?
It is scary. Okay. It definitely is. There may or may not have been a couple seconds where I forgot that we weren't really in a zombie apocalypse.
When you punch that dude.
When I punched the guy in the face.
It is important to say you can't punch the actors.
They do specifically say don't punch them.
It's a hard job.
So. Punch, stabs, just leave that at the door. I think when you go on this.
Yeah, we should point out there is no cloakroom, so.
Yeah, exactly.
So is it scary?
It is scary. I found it to be quite scary. It's funny because one of the things that we found most interesting was that they were actually using blanks in the guns.
Yeah.
So instead of kind of trying to do something with sound or kind of coordinate it with the sound effect, it is blanks in the gun. Yeah. That is very loud, very startling. You wouldn't think that would be the most terrifying part of a zombie apocalypse, but when these guns are firing all around you, it really does just raise your heart rate. And then you got guys clambering through the fences, you're being rushed through doors, herds of zombies and hordes and just storming you. I think it is quite easy to get lost in the whole atmosphere.
And what I think is different is like there's kind of a lot of zombie experiences out there where you can go, you can get chased on runs by zombies, or go to an abandoned shopping mall. What's kind of more kind of compelling about this, and I think scarier, is because it's structured like a play. It is essentially a play. It's a theatre experience.
Yeah.
So there's quieter moments, there's down moments. You're not just constantly being chased.
Exactly. You do have like a bit of freedom, but ultimately it is a performance that's going to lead to a climax.
Yeah.
You know, which it very much.
Yeah, we're not going to go into spoilers much. Like there is a splintered narrative and this kind of key things that happen. So we're not going to dwell on spoilers, but you can get kind of what it's like from some of the footage. Now, Rich, how involved is it? Because it says immersive theatre.
Yeah.
Like
you were very involved.
You're probably one of the most
more involved.
That's the really interesting thing, because I've never done one of these things before, like immersive theatre. I've heard about it, really wanted to do one. I really like the idea of that you're following the actors along, and you are kind of essentially part of the play.
Yeah.
But you are still the audience. You know, you're not really doing much. But for some reason, I kept getting pulled out of the crowd.
For some reason, you're always like,
I was like, got my hand up.
Oh.
For some reason,
you're just the vision of a hero. That's why.
I know, exactly.
Look into a crowd.
Yeah.
But yeah, I had to do a lot, actually, and it's all very basic things that you have to do.
Yeah.
Like this won't give any spoilers away, but like hold doors shut.
Yeah, barricading doors.
Yeah.
You were very good at that.
I was very good at that.
You just jumped into the fray.
Yeah. There's other things actually which I can't say because of spoilers in there. But yeah, you can get involved, and you can also opt out if you don't want to get involved.
Yeah,
so, like there are a couple of times.
That's what I'd say. Cause like interactive theatre, stuff like that, just like makes me cringe. Like, I don't really want to be the person picked on. But actually, it's not too bad because you go into rooms and the actors that lead you through are kind of Marines, the kind of special forces units, and they take you through to rooms and edges. They kind of go, get to the edge of the room, which makes sense in the fiction of what you're watching. They want you out of the way of doors and potentially affected people, but essentially what you do is take up the role of an audience.
Yeah, because a lot of the rooms have like raised platforms,
like little plinths, so you're kind of watching like an audience. Yeah. So, but then there are moments saying you want to be willing. You can, if you're standing near the front, or maybe there's moments you can get involved.
And there's moments where everyone gets involved as well. So there's certain things where they might ask you to search for something.
Yeah.
And so you're all kind of like scrambling around, especially when there's like a countdown timer on. You gotta be like,
not that there is in this.
Yeah. Do either you watch Finders Keepers with Neil Buchanan?
No.
I just date myself. Okay. So
Neil Buchanan. Was he the Art Attack guy?
Yeah, he was. He used to like use kids in a house searching for items.
Oh, wasn't that Pat Sharp's Funhouse?
No, that was Pat Sharp's
Anyway,
Funhouse.
Generation Z.
So Generation Z. Let's move it back to this, not late 80s, early 90s TV game shows. So Rory, what would you recommend it to people? Big fan of it?
I absolutely would, yeah. I think if you're a fan of zombies, if you play especially a lot of zombie video games and zombie films and things like that, it's really fun to be put into that that kind of experience and that narrative and just see how, not only how you would react, but there are places you go into some rooms and you have to find things, do things, but then also as a group you have to make collective decisions, which ultimately probably don't have that much sway, but you do get to sway the narrative a little bit.
Yeah, it feels like you do, and I feel like because it's quite good. I think it's quite a good thing to do on like the beginning of a night out or something, because it's quite short. It's 75 minutes in total. It goes really quickly. I don't know how much you affect the narrative, but it's quite a game like there is a branching narrative. So if you went again, you would potentially see a different side of the story.
And I think you can even sway yourself into that. area. So when we went into a room, we were kind of divided on what base where we were standing. So if I was to go again, which I would like to see what the other kind of, outcomes are, then you just stand in another place and you get to go and do the other thing. Yeah,
because it branches a few times throughout the story. Again, can't go into too much. But so Rich, so if you were going, what this is a practical question. What do you wear?
Okay, so they tell you at the start that you might get blood splatter over your clothes.
Much like a real zombie apocalypse.
Much like a Friday night in Whitechapel.
I wouldn't wear your best, but I would wear comfortable clothes.
Comfortable shoe, a sensible shoe is what Rich is looking for. And also they say that you might get doused in blood. Not real blood, but again...
It will all wash out. Basically,
maybe. So that's the recommendation. So you can get tickets on www.thegenerationofz.com, and if you go throughout May, it's about £25. Normally tickets range from £30 to £40 at the higher limit. But I think we're in agreement it's a good night out.
It's very cool.
Absolutely
cool. So for everything on zombies and the fall of civilization, stay right here on IGN.